it's Jenny Heckman with Jenny's TattleTales, and today we have the very lovely Elizabeth Barone. She is a dark romance suspense writer, and her series is called The River Reapers MC. And today we're spotlighting her book, A Fatal Prospect, which I see the cover back there behind you. If you want to hold it up, that would be great. Yeah, it looks like it's a great cover.
Thank you.
Lovely. Oh, I love it. Ooh, brooding.
I love the black and white covers.
Yeah.
And minimal.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I guess the very first question would be, what inspires you? What with your work and with your life, and what's the thing that inspires you most?
I mean, a lot of things, a lot of like random things. I get a lot of ideas while doing very boring things like dishes or driving. But a lot of my, especially this series, is really inspired by trauma and how it affects people differently and how we all handle it differently, and revenge.
Oh, I love it. Okay, tell us a little bit about the book.
So this book is the third in the series. It's all three books in the series follow the main couple, Cliff and Olivia. Cliff is an ex-con. He went away for a very long time to a max security facility. And Olivia is a bartender when they first meet, and she's just finishing up her social work degree. And so by this point in the book, it's a very like slow burn romance. And, you know, whenever in first meet, complications, she's adopted by his cousin's family, so they're technically related. It's a little bit of a taboo situation. There's an age gap, there's the whole ex-con thing, and they're both unknowingly and knowingly wrapped up in this local biker gang. And as the first book unwinds, you start to see how their ties actually go way back to before they even met. And as the series progresses, their relationship progresses, but also the sort of crime and bad things kind of progress. It just escalates.
Oh, cool. Okay, so and then you said there's revenge in there somewhere too. Is that from the past as well?
So I'm a sexual assault survivor. So story about sexual SD and kind of a little playground for revenge and therapeutic purposes. And so Cliff actually went away for saving his little cousin from someone who was hurting her. So there's a very complicated dynamic in the club because of the club's history and because of how they were trying to handle it at the time, but couldn't because of all their voting rules and stuff. So Cliff comes in, this 18-year-old kid, and it was actually his father. He kills his father, and he goes to jail for a very long time. And when he gets out in the first book, he's sort of this fish out of water. He doesn't know what Facebook is. Everything is different from when he went in.
Oh, yeah.
And being a sexual assault survivor and knowing so many sexual assault survivors, I kind of wanted to rewrite some wrongs and make some things, get some justice for some things that, you know, we don't normally get justice for.
I love that. That's really, really great message. It's a great thing to do. And it's probably very healing, I would assume as well. Yeah.
It's super cathartic to kill people in
I love it. I love it. So in this world of COVID, what lessons have you learned as, you know, as we're starting to open up as a country and all of that stuff? Have you found that you have become a better writer? Have you, any particular lessons that you've learned in this closed up kind of world?
Oh, so I had a really crazy COVID year. I have an autoimmune disease. It's called undifferentiated, and it's kind of like a Venn diagram rheumatoid arthritis and Sjogren's.
Ooh.
Starting in about February, it had a flare up. So just as it was starting, my flare was seriously sick in the hospital, had to, you know, all activities, all writing, and really just focus on getting better. And so I didn't really write much of anything for a while. I was working on mostly like shorter stuff just to kind of keep the muscle strong. And then I was also editing this book, which came out literally from the ICU, like hopped up on IV steroids.
Oh man. Oh, wow. How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm on treatment now, so that makes
Good.
a huge difference all on its own. But yeah, I think the thing I learned most from this pandemic is patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's quite a story all in itself.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like looking
Yeah.
back, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe that happened. And I'm still like dealing, with it and still technically in recovery, but definitely much better than where I was this time last year.
Oh, wow. And it kind of froze a little bit when you said, what is the condition?
It's called undifferentiated connective tissue disease.
Oh, wow.
Like a Venn diagram of lupus, Sjogren's syndrome, and rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh.
To get like a big mix of all those symptoms. Mine tends to lean more toward the lupus side of things.
Oh, okay.
Just
okay.
without like the kidney involvement. I don't have any of that, thankfully. But I have like the joint pain, the fatigue. This time last year, I learned that it can also cause pleurisy, which is an inflammation of the lining of your lungs.
Oh,
I didn't know it was a thing until it happened.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
Yeah. It was wild. It was crazy. Just
yeah, but you're a survivor. So that's and I bet that comes reflected out into your characters as well, I would assume. Is there a lot of yourself in your characters?
Yeah, I think all of them have, at least a little piece of me. With this book, I was dealing with rib inflammation and pain at the time. So I put a rib injury in there with the heroin because I was like, I got this. It was like, sorry to pass this on to you, but my coping method. So I pass on all my trauma and challenges to my poor character.
Well, it's great because then you find a way to overcome it with your characters, and that's very, very nice too. That's really good. Got to be uplifting, I would assume. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Do you have any words of wisdom that you live by, or a kind of motto?
Probably slow and steady, because being sick, because this all started for me in like 2007, all those symptoms. So like pretty much, and I started publishing in 2011. So my entire career, I've had this. And so I've really had to learn to be patient, to take like a slow and steady kind of marathon approach. I definitely am not the author that can churn out and publish a book a month.
Yeah.
Last year I didn't publish anything. Some years I'm lucky if I publish, one book. So it's definitely very much like a long-term kind of mindset, a slow and steady mindset. Like, okay. Because another thing too that I feel like we struggle with as a community is burnout. We tend, we have this model now where we have these very hungry readers and we want to satisfy them and have, good careers. And I've seen a lot of people disappear over the years because they were just so burnt out and so stressed out, and then they just never published again. You never heard from them again. So that in mind, and the chronic illness stuff in mind, I always want to take a very slow approach. And even if it takes me longer to get, to where I want to be, I still, in the grand scheme of things, want to be publishing and writing, 20 years from now. So for me, it's just taking everything in one book at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're putting out your best work, and you know, you hear about that too. You do hear about the Nora Roberts of the world who can put out 4 books, 5 books, whatever a year, and I've always been in awe of them and how they do it. You're wondering do they do that all themselves? Do they do a team? Because I do think that a lot of times you do have people behind you. You could possibly have people behind you, the ones that are getting them out so often, and it's intimidating as an author who doesn't write super fast or has another life kind of going on.
Well, yeah, or also if you write bigger books, because usually these books are around 200 pages, probably not more than that, a lot more than that. So they're a lot smaller and shorter. Yeah. And your books are 400 and
so I mean, I would assume that it would be kind of the same kind of thing. You're just trying to find your own path. That's a great way to look at it. I think that's a great way to do it. Do you have, what's your favorite genre? Do you write your favorite genre that you like to read?
No. I don't.
Isn't that
funny? I would love to. My favorite genre to read is psych thrillers.
Ooh.
But I just have not figured out how to write one yet. I've tried taking a crack at it a few times, but I'm just not there yet. I don't know but I love reading them. I actually don't read as many romances as I read psych thrillers, which is kind of funny. That's
a great, it's a great experience too. If you can read them and then kind of get your favorite authors down, and then you kind of see their formulas and everything. I think they're hard. I write paranormal fantasy romance, and I'm trying my hand at a mystery, which is part of the series. And I've never written a mystery before, and it is a struggle. So, I mean, to write a good one, right? You want to make sure it's something that stumps people. It's good.
Yep.
If a reader could do one thing to help their favorite author, what do you think it would be?
Ooh, if you like our books, let us know. I feel like that's kind of the hardest part sometimes is you don't know, like you can see sales coming in and you can see like your blogger reviews and stuff, but sometimes like I'll get messages like way after the fact, or I'll be doing a signing and someone will come to my table that I don't know who they are, and they're like, oh yeah, I read your whole series. I'm like, oh, good.
That would have been really encouraging to know. Yeah, I hear you.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We're drowning out here.
Yeah. We need encouragement. If writing, let's say if writing is your first passion, what is your second?
Probably cooking.
Oh, yeah. Are you a good cook?
I like to think so. I'm not a good cook under pressure. Sometimes it takes me many, many hours to make even like something very simple. But I actually went to a technical high school and I was in the culinary arts program.
Oh,
she's a good cook.
You sit there and say, I don't know, I'd like to think so. You're a good cook.
I've burnt things. I mess up rice, like it's a whole thing.
You're so modest. Oh gosh.
Put it this way: if it doesn't come out, but my husband will eat it. So.
Oh, how long have you been married?
Oh gosh, 7. This will be 8 years.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so let's see. Just complete this sentence. Your life would be absolutely complete if.
Ooh, if I lived somewhere with mild weather all year round, and I don't know. If I could actually get through my TBR, that would be great.
Everybody's hope and dream. Well, if you want mild, you need to come to Washington. If you can handle rain, it's pretty much mild all the time.
I love the sound of rain, but my joints do not like the actual.
Oh, then don't come here.
Arizona, probably.
Yeah,
or
Arizona.
New Mexico.
Yeah. Okay, well, as a last question, what would you most like to say to the readers and listeners out there?
Number one, thank you, because I have the most supportive readers possible, and I feel very lucky in that respect. They're always super understanding when I have to push back deadlines, and they're the best. But the first book in the series, the River Reapers MC series, is A Disturbing Prospect, and it's actually 99 cents everywhere. And I also have a novella that if you sign up for my newsletter, you can get the novella for free. It's a prequel novella.
Oh, cool.
All on the site.
Oh, cool. Okay, and we are going to have all of Elizabeth's links to all of her website, which is Elizabeth Barone, or ElizabethBaroneBooks.com, and then all of the things that she has links to, her books, and through our website or through the description right below here. So I really just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. You have been so patient. We've got, for the listeners out there, we have a really, really windy day here in Seattle, and it's causing the computer to freeze. And Elizabeth has been so patient with us. So thank you very, very much for coming on. I'm sorry that we've kind of been interrupted a little bit here. So such a privilege to meet you, though.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
Okay, the very, very best of luck to you and everything.
Thank you, you too.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.